Your balance doesn't suddenly disappear after 60. It usually starts fading somewhere much smaller, and most people never notice it. Here's the surprising part. Many balance problems don't begin in the hips, the knees, or even the core. They begin in a joint most people completely ignore. And when that joint becomes weaker or slower, the body loses its ability to correct small mistakes while walking. That's when uneven sidewalks feel risky, stairs feel less stable, and simple movements start demanding more attention than they used to. Now think about this for a second. Have you ever stepped on a small rock or uneven patch of pavement and felt that quick wobble before your body corrected itself? That tiny moment tells you something important about mobility, health span, and how to age better. Because the difference between someone who moves confidently at 70 and someone who constantly fears falling often comes down to one overlooked system in the body. And once you understand how it works, you'll start seeing balance, strength after 50, and longevity in a completely different way. Most people assume balance comes from the hips, maybe the knees, sometimes even the core. It sounds logical. After all, those are the big muscles everyone talks about in the world of functional fitness. But here's the quiet truth most people miss. Your ankles are the first responders of balance. Every step you take, whether on grass, pavement, or a slightly uneven sidewalk, starts with the ankle making rapid micro-adjustments. These adjustments happen hundreds of times per minute, and without them, mobility becomes uncertain, and the simple act of walking starts to feel unpredictable. Think about the last time you stepped off a curb that was just a little lower than expected. That tiny wobble you felt? Your ankle caught you before your brain even finished registering the mistake. That's not luck. That's biology. Your ankle joint constantly stabilizes your body so you can keep moving safely. In the language of evidence-based health and longevity, this small joint quietly protects something much bigger: your independence. When it's strong, you barely notice it. When it weakens, the body starts negotiating with gravity. Here's the part that surprises many people interested in healthy aging. Balance isn't something you turn on when you lose it. It's something your body maintains every second you're standing. Imagine a tightrope walker, not because aging is a circus act, but because the body constantly performs small corrections to keep you upright. Your ankles do that work silently. In fact, if someone wants better strength after 50, better walking stability, and better quality of life, strengthening the ankles may be one of the most overlooked upgrades in the entire longevity toolkit. And this is where things become interesting, because the problem rarely starts with a dramatic fall. It starts quietly, slightly slower reactions, a little stiffness, a subtle loss of responsiveness. Nothing dramatic at first, just small signals your body sends as the mechanics of aging well begin to shift. The real question isn't whether ankles matter. They clearly do. The deeper question is what exactly begins to change in the ankles after 60, and why those changes affect balance far more than most people realize. Aging rarely announces itself with loud alarms. Most of the time, it whispers. After 60, the ankles begin to change in ways that are subtle but deeply influential for mobility, balance, and longevity. The joint may feel a little stiffer when getting out of bed. The small stabilizing muscles in the feet may become slightly weaker. Tendons lose a bit of elasticity, and nerve signals take a fraction longer to travel. None of these changes sound dramatic alone, but together they quietly reshape how the body maintains stability. Here's the tricky part about healthy aging. The body often still knows what to do. It just takes longer to do it. Imagine stepping on a small rock while walking in the park. In younger years, your ankle instantly adjusts and you barely notice it. But as reaction speed declines, that same moment may feel slower, just long enough for your body to wobble before correcting itself. And in the world of functional fitness and balance, milliseconds matter more than most people realize. Scientists who study health span and movement longevity often describe this as a change in neuromuscular efficiency. The muscles, tendons, and nervous system still work together, but the communication becomes slightly delayed. Think of it like a conversation with a tiny lag on the phone line. The message still gets through, but the timing isn't quite as sharp. That's why some people begin to feel less stable on stairs or uneven sidewalks, even if they remain active. and relatively strong. But here's where the story becomes encouraging, and this is something many people never hear from traditional advice. These changes are not simply a one-way road. The body is remarkably adaptable, even later in life. With the right kind of evidence-based health strategies, ankles can regain responsiveness, coordination, and strength. And before explaining how that happens, it helps to recognize the early signals the body sends, those quiet clues that ankle stability might already be starting to decline. Most people assume balance suddenly disappears with age, as if one day the body simply stops cooperating. But that's not how the biology of healthy aging works. The body usually sends quiet signals long before a fall ever happens. Small clues appear in everyday movement, subtle shifts in stability that are easy to dismiss. The challenge is that these signals are often misinterpreted as just getting older, when in reality they're early warnings that ankle strength and functional fitness may need attention. One of the most common signs appears during a simple test, standing on one leg while brushing your teeth or putting on shoes. If the ankle wobbles excessively, or the body quickly searches for support, it may indicate declining stability. Another signal shows up when walking on grass, sand, or gravel. Surfaces that once felt normal suddenly feel unpredictable. The brain senses that the balance system isn't responding quite as smoothly as it used to, and it begins compensating. Stairs offer another revealing moment. Many adults over 50 notice they reach for railings more often, even when they feel generally strong. This isn't weakness in the legs alone. Often, it's the ankle joint asking for help. And there's also the moment after a small trip, when the body takes slightly longer to recover than it once did. That delay, even if it lasts only a second, reflects the connection between mobility, nerve response, and ankle stability, which are essential pieces of aging well. But here's the encouraging truth that rarely gets highlighted in conversations about longevity and health span. These signs don't mean decline is inevitable. In fact, they often appear precisely because the body is asking for stimulation and training. The ankle system is incredibly adaptable, and once you understand how it communicates with the brain itself, how balance is actually a conversation between joint sensors and the nervous system, you begin to see why strengthening this small joint can dramatically improve independence and quality of life. Most people think the ankles are just mechanical hinges that move the foot up and down. But the reality is far more fascinating. Your ankles are constantly sending information to your brain about where your body is in space. This internal guidance system is called proprioception, and it plays a critical role in balance, mobility, and healthy aging. Without it, even standing still would feel unstable. Every step you take activates thousands of tiny sensors inside the ankle joint, ligaments, and surrounding muscles. These sensors instantly report changes in pressure, angle, and surface texture. Your brain then processes that information and sends rapid instructions back to the muscles to keep you upright. It's like having a built-in navigation system for movement. And when this system works well, walking feels effortless and natural. But here's something many people don't realize about aging well and preserving health span. When ankle strength declines, the signal going to the brain becomes weaker and slower. Imagine trying to drive a car while the steering wheel responds half a second late. That's essentially what happens when the ankle-brain communication system becomes less responsive. The body can still correct balance, but the correction arrives slightly delayed. The encouraging part is that this system can be retrained. Exercises that challenge stability, like standing on one leg while holding a countertop, or slowly shifting weight from side to side, stimulate those sensors again. Over time, the brain becomes sharper at interpreting these signals. And this improvement doesn't just enhance functional fitness, it rebuilds something deeper, the confidence to move freely, which is one of the foundations of independence and quality of life as the years go by. Now here's the encouraging part that often surprises people interested in longevity and strength after 50. The ankles respond incredibly well to simple training. You don't need complicated gym routines or extreme workouts. In fact, the most effective strategies for functional fitness and healthy aging are often the simplest ones. Just a few targeted movements can wake up the stabilizing muscles, improve mobility, and help the body regain confidence in its balance system. The first movement is the heel raise, and it's deceptively powerful. Standing behind a chair or near a wall, slowly lift your heels until you're on the balls of your feet, then lower back down with control. This strengthens the calf muscles and the stabilizers surrounding the ankle. Someone focused on aging well and maintaining independence might start with 10 repetitions in the morning while waiting for coffee to brew. It's a small habit, but small habits are the architecture of long-term health span. The second movement is the toe raise, which many people overlook entirely. While standing upright, lift the front of your feet so your toes come off the floor, then slowly lower them again. This targets the muscles along the front of the ankle, which help control how your foot lands when you walk. Stronger toe flexors improve walking mechanics and reduce the chance of tripping, an important detail for anyone who cares about mobility, quality of life, and evidence-based health practices after 50. The third movement may be the most powerful of all. Single leg balance. Simply standing on one foot for 10 to 20 seconds activates dozens of stabilizing muscles and trains the brain to ankle communication system we talked about earlier. Someone brushing their teeth can easily practice this by lifting one foot slightly off the floor. Over time, these small moments compound into stronger coordination and improved balance. And interestingly enough, this kind of consistency-driven routine is exactly the type of strategy explored deeper in a resource many viewers have been discovering lately: the Longevity Protocol, your comprehensive guide to a longer, healthier life, which dives further into practical systems for building strength, mobility, and resilience as the decades go by. When ankle strength improves, something subtle but powerful begins to happen. Everyday movement starts to feel easier again. Walking outside no longer requires the same level of caution. Uneven sidewalks feel less threatening. Even simple activities like stepping off a curb or turning quickly while walking become smoother. This is one of the quiet advantages of functional fitness and longevity. When the body moves well, life itself feels less complicated. For many people focused on healthy aging and maintaining independence, confidence in movement is just as important as strength itself. Someone might notice they're more willing to walk through a park, travel, or explore a new city without constantly scanning the ground. The body becomes more cooperative again. That's because stronger ankles improve the entire chain of stability, from the feet to the knees, hips, and spine, supporting long-term mobility and balance. Think about real-life situations for a moment: carrying groceries from the car, walking up a few stairs at a friend's house, playing with grandchildren in the backyard. None of these activities require athletic performance, but they do require reliable balance and coordination. And this is where evidence-based health practices for strength after 50 become so valuable. They focus on preserving the movements that actually matter for daily living and long-term quality of life. And when someone starts noticing those small improvements, walking a little steadier, reacting a little faster, feeling a little more confident, it reinforces an important mindset about aging well. Longevity isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting the abilities that allow a person to live fully and independently. Around here, that philosophy is simple and clear, a reminder that quietly guides everything we teach. Your goal isn't youth, it's independence. Now pause for a moment and be honest with yourself. How many times a week do you actually train your balance? Not walking, not general stretching, but real balance and stability work. Because most people only start thinking about it after a fall. And when it comes to longevity, mobility, and healthy aging, waiting for the problem to show up is never the best strategy. The good news is that you don't need extreme workouts or hours of exercise to improve this. In many cases, just 3 to 5 minutes a day can begin rebuilding strength, coordination, and confidence while walking. Small practices like heel raises, toe raises, or simply standing on one foot for a few seconds can strengthen one of the most important systems for functional fitness, independence, and quality of life over the years. Aging well isn't about avoiding time. It's about training the body to keep up with life. Now, here's an important question. Do you want to simply live more years? Or do you want to keep moving confidently inside them If this kind of knowledge about how to age better, strength after 50, and evidence-based health speaks to you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here at Longevity Blueprint, every video is about something simple, practical, and powerful you can do to protect your independence over time. And before you leave, there's another video you should watch next. Because balance isn't the only signal your body starts sending after 50. Many people also begin waking up in the middle of the night, often at the exact same time. And it may have much more to do with aging, metabolism, and brain health than most people realize. I explain exactly what's happening and what to do about it in the video. Why you wake up at 3 a.m. after 50. Click it now on the end screen, because understanding how your body changes after 50 is one of the smartest ways to protect your health in the years ahead.